And that passes unanimously. Special business, proclamations, canvass returns, etc. 2026-0029 in recognition, Dwayne E. Harris, Board of Adjustments. Ms. O'Daniels?
Thank you. This is to recognize Dwayne Harris's service and time that he has given to his community. And so the St. Charles Parish Council and the parish president deeply appreciate your years of service, Mr. Harris, on the St. Charles Parish Board of Adjustment. Dwayne Harris served as a District 5 representative of the St. Charles Parish Board of Adjustment from September 19, 2022 and to December 7, 2025. And I believe Mr. Harris is here to accept this.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Really?
I got you. I appreciate it. Thank you all. Thank my family for coming. That's District 5. Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you, Matt Jew and Ms. Daniels. Thank y'all so much for this appreciation for 4 years of service. I appreciate it, and I was glad to serve the people of St. Charles Parish and the residents of St. Charles Parish, that we were able to help some people that was in distress or had hardship. So that board was a blessing to me and to the people that we did help. And take a moment, I'd like to have my little family to stand up. We from District 5 of St. Rose. Glad to serve you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harris.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
2026-0030 proclamation, Wear Red Day for Women in St. Charles Parish. Be read by Ms. Fonseca.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Proclamation. Whereas diseases of the heart are the nation's leading cause of death and stroke is the third leading cause of death. And whereas more women die of heart disease, stroke, and all other cardiovascular diseases than the next 5 leading causes of death combined, including all cancers. And whereas February is designated as American Heart Month, and whereas Go for Red Women is the American Heart Association's national call to increase awareness about heart disease, the leading cause of death for women, and to inspire women to take charge of their heart health. And whereas since the first National Wear Red Day, tremendous strides have been made in the fight against heart disease in women. And whereas fewer women are dying from heart disease and more women are aware that it's their #1 health threat. And whereas all women should learn their own personal risk for heart disease using tools that the Go Red for Women social initiative provides and by talking to their healthcare provider. And whereas making the right choices relating to proper nutrition, physical activity, doctor visits, and other lifestyle methods is essential to living a heart-healthy life, now therefore be it resolved, we the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the parish president do hereby proclaim Friday, February 6, 2026 as Wear Red Day for Women in St. Charles Parish in recognition of the importance of the ongoing fight against heart disease and stroke, and urge all citizens to show their support for women in their fight against heart disease by commemorating this day by the wearing of the color red, by increasing awareness and empowering women to reduce their risk for cardiovascular disease. We can save thousands of lives each year. And I believe Miss Tracy Esquivel is here to receive.
Thank you for letting me be able to accept the proclamation on behalf of St. Charles Parish Hospital. It's an honor. I am one of the clinic leaders and hospital leaders that provides the cardiology services for our parish. We are very glad that we can actually serve the community this way. So again, like she said, please wear red on a day to kind of help support women and our cardiovascular heart disease. Thank you.
Next, 2026-0031. Proclamation, Crew of Months Day. Mr. Fisher?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Proclamation. Whereas on Saturday, February 7th, 2026, at 11 a.m., the Crew of Months will hold its 41st Mardi Gras Parade through the streets of Months. And whereas the Crew of Months Parade is organized and directed by Ms. Connie Fayard, who gives her time and talent to make this event possible. And whereas the Crew of Months Parade is held in memory of Mr. and Mrs. Cleve Wascom, who originally organized this event. And whereas the Crew of Months is strictly an ATV parade consisting of 3-wheel and 4-wheel vehicles, go-karts, golf carts, and whereas the residents of St. Charles Parish are truly grateful for Ms. Fayard's dedication and hard work. Now therefore be it resolved that we, the members of the St. Charles Parish Council and the Parish President, do hereby proclaim Saturday, February 7th, 2026, as Crew of Months Day. Be it further resolved, Saturday, February 7th, 2026, is hereby declared a day of fun and festivities in St. Charles Parish. Be it further resolved that on behalf of the citizens of St. Charles Parish, we do hereby extend our sincere thanks and appreciation to Ms. Connie Fayard for her contributions to the Crew of Months. Be it further resolved, this parade is dedicated in the memory of Mr. and Mrs. Cleve Wascom, in honor of their dedication and involvement with the Crew of Months in St. Charles Parish. I believe Ms. Connie's here. Come on. Where she's at. Oh, I will get it to her. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Reports, finance and administrative activities. 2026-0032, Grants Office. Ms. Chasson.
Hi, good evening. So my name is Carla Chasson, and I'm the St. Charles Parish Grants Officer. This is my 2026 council meeting presentation. I feel like I was just here in August, and I gave you guys a pretty in-depth presentation. So this one just kind of has some talking points. So as you know, our office serves to pursue and manage any grant funding that comes to St. Charles Parish. So our office is staffed with 5 employees. We have a combined experience of 44 years of combined experience. And probably my favorite part of the presentation, so I ran the numbers, and every dollar since Parish President Jewell has been Parish President, every dollar that has been invested into the grants office, we have produced a 5,043% return on investment. So I think that shows, thank you. I think that definitely shows the importance of the work that we do. So looking at awards and grant applications, in 2025 we were awarded $8.5 million for 19 different projects. There are 26 applications currently outstanding, requesting another $147 million. And there's $25.2 million in pending awards that we're awaiting the funding agreement. I know the funding's there, but we're just waiting on those agreements. And one of those is actually going to be on the agenda later on tonight. So looking at the grant funding at work, in 2025, we requested $8.7 million in reimbursements. There were 25 houses elevated throughout the year. And we currently have 4 capital projects under construction. That's the DeSalmans boat launch, the Ormond CN Railroad culverts, the Muntz pump station, and out to bid now is the Primrose Canal sheet pile project. We have 5 capital projects in design that are grant funded. It's those 4 CDBG projects, which the 2 in New Sarpy, the culverts and the pump station, and then 2 in St. Rose, the Fairfield and Oakland conveyance improvements, and the Turtle Pond pump station. And the last one I think is going to be coming up soon. I thought it was coming tonight, but it's the Waterworks West Bank Plant E construction design contract. That's going to be coming to you guys soon. We do have two small projects that's going to get going early this year. It's some recreation projects for some basketball court improvements at Booty and Kelowna Park. And then lastly, we have a couple other projects that aren't capital projects, and there's a street safety plan that we are working on. There's a sewer study that's being completed in St. Rose, and that's underway. And then also the EOC this year will be looking to purchase some drone equipment. In 2026, looking forward, we are going to continue progress on those projects that are under design to get those into construction. We have those four are all in the same phase. They're in the environmental clearance phase, and while that's ongoing, we're still working on the design and the permitting as well. So hopefully by the end of the year, we can see those projects moving into construction. We're going to continue working with FEMA with their public assistance program to finalize those Hurricane Ida project worksheets. We have 4 that are remaining, and there's 3 of them. They're right up to the finish line. Hopefully they'll be crossing that soon, and there's one left after that. And then we're going to continue working with FEMA and GOSIP on getting the hazard mitigation grant program applications approved and get those projects kicked off. There are 2 that have been all through the FEMA review. There's another QA/QC review that the Trump administration has requested for all grant awards over $100,000. So it's just adding a little bit of time. Those 2 projects are the Ormond Oak Channel improvements and the water treatment plant generator. So hopefully later on this year, I'll be before you with the sub-grantee agreement for those. We are also, last Friday, I went ahead and submitted some fact sheets for some of the projects that came out of the SHIELD plan, which are the wetland and shoreline protection projects. Those were being submitted to the Coastal Wetland Planning, Protection, and Restoration Act. There is an upcoming planning meeting for our region that we will be nominating those projects for as well. When I first started in the grants office, the federal government kind of got away from doing appropriations, but we're seeing that come back. That's a different route than a grant application, but we do submit our projects, and it comes straight from the federal government if you get into one of the appropriation bills. Last year, we put in for the Desalmans bulkhead. We didn't get selected for that, but we're going to go ahead and resubmit it this year, and then also we're doing another one for the Waterworks E-Plant construction. And then lastly, we're going to continue progress on the elevations program. We have 19 projects that are currently under construction and 18 homeowners who are working to get into construction this year. So with that, I will return my time to you, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Mr. Fisher.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Carla, thank you for the efforts. Look, it says volumes about the amount of money that you guys have been doing in programming, and like I said, we can support you with it. I do have a couple questions. The elevation program, I know there was a lot of talk about that, and then there was some funding that you were able to get. The 19 that are under construction right now, what year were they approved?
It's various years. We have a grant. We have maybe 1 or 2 homeowners left in the 19 application. We have a handful from the 20 application, and then the remainder of those, I would say, from 22.
Okay.
I have seen that program slow down. They usually open the grant program in maybe like September or October timeframe, and they still haven't opened it yet. So we're still waiting every day. Hopefully that application round opens and we can start working with homeowners again to get them in the pipeline.
Do you have any idea how many residents we have, their applications have been submitted and they're in the process, whether it be?
I can look back and tell you.
You look at that, just out of curiosity, I'd like to see that.
I would say it's maybe a dozen that applications submitted and moving forward. Okay. And then we'll hopefully get a new opportunity to open and get more in the pipeline.
And I know you'll let us know if that happens. Thank you, Carl. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Ms. O'Daniels.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you again for everything that you do, but I wanted to kind of double back. We are seeing a lot of elevations in St. Rose, particularly in our area that is waiting on some improvements in Fairfield, Oakland. It's pretty exciting. I think we're really starting to narrow down properties at risk in those particular areas. But I know you have some, projects with the conveyance going on, improving the conveyance as well for those properties as well as properties on the other side of the railroad tracks. Could you just recap, particularly since we have a bunch of St. Rose people here, recap where that project is on the conveyance improvements? You said that there was some additional environmental that needed to be done?
Yes, so those are in the very initial steps, but the programs are trying to get these projects under construction in 2027. But we still have, not for the conveyance improvements, but for the pump station, there's a land acquisition that needs to happen. We're working on the environmental clearance, which sometimes requires the Army Corps of Engineers, which is really the holdup. Their reviews take like 8 to 9 months. So that has been submitted. And then once we get all the solicitation of views responses back, we can package that up and we submit that to the grant agency. But while all of that is going on, the design is continuing to progress. Once the design gets to 60%, it goes to permitting. And once all of those pieces are tied up in a nice little package, then we can go ahead and go to construction.
And I know we've been anxiously waiting some movement
Yes.
on that. We had a few
I know.
setbacks, but
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
glad to hear that it's finally moving forward. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Jewell.
Thank you, Chairman. I just want to say thanks, Carla, to you and your staff. Very small office, but very powerful impact overall for the parish. We would not have been as successful over the last, 4 or 6 years that we've been without the work of your office. So thanks to all you and your team. And just a note on the elevation program. Obviously, it's a government program, so it's slow. But I will tell you, in comparison to the Corps of Engineers, who, if you haven't heard, they have gotten into the business of home elevations. In fact, they have money to elevate 3,000 homes in southwest Louisiana.
2.1 million.
And I think over the past 2 years of that program running, they have successfully elevated one home. And so when it puts it into perspective a little bit, when you look at the FEMA program where we have 25 under construction or completed, and I think we've over 60 since 2020, close maybe. So just puts into perspective, but it's a lot of paperwork. It's kind of tedious for both the homeowner and our office, and we just want to say thanks for staying the course on that and helping our residents who are the most vulnerable. At the end of the day, when we do drainage improvements across the parish, those are likely the people who you almost cannot eliminate flooding for because of how low they are in relation to the road and everything else. So appreciate what you do.
Yes, and thank you all for your support.
Thank you,
My
Mr.
office as well.
Thank you, Mr. Jewell. Ms. Chaslon, I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you very much because I've been a subject of the elevation program, as you well know, and I've watched the whole process before I got in this crazy thing called politics. And I think that you guys do a fantastic job. In my neighborhood, I can count about, 16 different homes that got elevated, in 24, 25. Very happy campers, by the way. I'm one. Thank you very much for what you do. And I'm sure that going forward, hopefully FEMA is starting to accelerate a little bit on the process. Back in 2024, you had the Swift Current Program application in November, and then in January, the end of January, you had another, which was the fiscal year 24, they called it. Of those two, do you see some movement coming soon on that from your side?
So the Swift Current application round is moving forward. The regular one, I'll call it, is not moving forward. The Trump administration decided that they didn't want to move those applications forward. It was an application from the previous administration that they decided not to move forward.
So for the one for fiscal year 24, which you say are not moving forward, are they dead forever? Or
No. We
Okay.
were planning on contacting them when the new round opens up and having them resubmit their applications.
That's good news. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, 2026, thank you very much, Ms. Chaslon. 2026-0033. Mr. Jewell.
Okay, starting with CC Road. It's going to be closed through March 13th. The northbound and southbound lanes of CC Road in months will be fully closed between the KCS Railroad and Airline until March. You may or may not know we have some work going on out there. This closure is necessary to drive sheet piling along the edge of the roadway and drive batter piles. So very dangerous work that's going to be going on. I know people are inconvenienced by the road being closed, but we cannot risk a crane or a piece of sheet pile or something falling and injuring someone in an active work site. So that's going to remain closed through March 13th. Residents will be able to use CC Road from the KCS Railroad to the Spillway Road and River Road. Haul trucks as well as Simbel Industries and Vickers Lane residents will need to use Spillway Road or River Road. Also, you can see in the photo here at the Muntz number 2 site, emergency vehicles at the Muntz number 2 site, emergency vehicles will have one lane open for access while a portion of the road is being removed to allow sheet pile driving. At Muntz number 1, in the photo on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see that the working slab of the pump station has been poured. And then you can see 42 18-inch concrete piles that have been driven into that slab. There's going to be another 2-foot thick reinforced sump foundation that's going to be poured on top of this. So really the foundation of these pump stations is going in. And after this, you're going to start seeing the structure go up. And just to put it in perspective for you, you can see a little guy standing over there on the side. So pretty big area that we're talking about here. For this project. All right. We have recently completed the rehabilitation of the West Bank River intake pylon structure. We used to have old wooden pilings that you can see here on the left. Those have been replaced with stronger metal structures to improve the structural stability, reduce safety risks during routine operations, and help ensure reliability for our water services in the parish. The upgrade structure, again, is more resilient to future storms and hazards along the river. And we appreciate the Waterworks team working pretty diligently on this to get this done. We've actually been talking about this project for a long time, and it took a lot of permitting and legwork to get it done. Okay, spring sports registration tomorrow is the very last day for you to register your child for spring sports. Again, we cannot keep the registration open for a month long. We have to get the kids on teams and starting to practice for our spring sports. That's going to be baseball, t-ball, softball, tennis, AAU track, and field. We are officially in the late registration window, so late fees will apply. The Parks and Rec team will be working to get teams and gear ready and then sending information to parents about the start of practices and the games. Okay, next. Staying on Parks and Recreation, we want to say thank you to the team at Valero St. Charles Refinery for spending their MLK Day at New Sarpy Park, painting, pressure washing, and freshening up the landscape. We really appreciate Valero's commitment to the community beyond their fence line on this project and all the ways that they show up for St. Charles Parish. Okay, Crew of G Old Timers Dance is coming up. It's going to be Thursday, February 12th. So we'll be celebrating Mardi Gras with the Crew of G Old Timers. That's going to be at the Edward A. Dufresne Community Centers. At the Edward A. Dufresne Community Center, we got music by Ryan Foray and Foray Tradition. Doors open at 10:30 a.m. This event is always a great time for our seniors, and we can't wait to see everyone in their festive Mardi Gras attire. Please RSVP at 985-783-5090. Okay, LAHEAP applications are open. The St. Charles Parish Department of Community Services is now taking appointments Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. for low-income home energy assistance program applications. Some residents may apply for assistance provided that they can prove permanent residence in St. Charles Parish and that they meet state income regulations. So again, this is LAHEAP. This is for energy assistance for low-income residents. For more information, please go to our website, or to secure an appointment, please call 985-764-7944. That is our Office of Community Services. I want to thank that team over there, as well as Joan, the director, for always making this happen every year. 2026 Summer Work Experience Program applications are over. Let's Work River Parish is also accepting applications for young adults ages 18 to 24 for their annual Summer Work Experience Program, which is 8 weeks of learning, working, and a great foundation for our young people looking to enter the workforce. Program applications close on March 1st. So if you have any questions, please reach out to the youth coordinator at 985-783-5030. Okay, we got some events coming up in 2026 that we want to talk about. Trash Bash is going to be Saturday, April 18th in conjunction with Love the Boot Week. Fishtat Rodeo is going to be Saturday, May 9th. Our 36th annual July 3rd celebration is going to be on Friday, July 3rd, and it's going to be a huge celebration as a part of the America 250 festivities. Our Veterans Luncheon is going to be held on Thursday, November 5th. Our Senior Christmas Luncheon is going to be Thursday, December 10th, and this year's Toy and Gift Fund will be on Saturday, December 12th. So, for our residents at home watching, please lock in these dates, and we'll run this on the channel as well. And of course, we always message out to the community before these events arrive. Okay, we've got cold weather. We had some cold weather last night. We're going to have some more tonight and into the morning. So we always ask people to check the 4 Ps: people, pets, pipes, and plants. Our EOC has been in communication with the National Weather Service about impacts to our area, and then later this week we could see some more cold weather. So we want you to sign up for SCP alerts to get information that's important to St. Charles Parish. You can text SCP alerts to 888-777, or you can sign up at www.scpemergencyalerts.com. And that's going to be for all emergencies, whether it's industrial or weather related. We can always contact our residents if they sign up for those alerts. It's a great tool for us to contact our residents. Okay, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Jewell. All right, ordinances, resolutions introduced for publication and public hearing Monday, February 9th, 2026, 6 p.m., Council Chambers, Courthouse, Hanville. These will be 2026-0023, 0025, 0028, 0038, 0039, and 0041. Ordinances scheduled for public hearing introduced at a previous meeting. 2025-0401, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a contract with Corenco LLC for the Primrose Canal Cleaning and Improvements, Phase 1B, project number P210202, in the amount of $1,507,765.04. And Mr. Bingham, can you explain?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is our second project on the Primrose Canal. The first one was to go from the intersection of Cousins Canal and Primrose to approximately the First Street. And this is going to take it to the Lagatuda pump station, which is in that same area. We're doing both sides of the canal, and we would appreciate your support. It's within our budget. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bingham. File number 2025-0401 is now open for public hearing. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Any council discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2025. Sir.
I couldn't hear.
I'm sorry. My apologies. I got to keep an eye on this thing, huh? Miss Wilson, sorry.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. This isn't in reference to Primrose of the cleaning, but because we have several residents that do look at the meeting Facebook or however they may look at it. One of my questions is in reference to the 40 Auburn Canal. So do we have an idea as to when is the next cleaning for the 40 Auburn?
I do not, but I will get that information for you.
Okay. And then in reference still, the permits for the cleaning of the 40 Auburn Canal, can you also let me know when it expire and if it expires before the cleaning of the next time it will be clean?
Okay. You need the expiration date of the existing
Yes.
permit?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Any other council discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2025-0401. Okay. Bob disappeared. Thanks for keeping me honest. That one passes with Mr. Fisher being out of the room. Thank you. Okay, 2026-0018, an ordinance of the Parish of St. Charles providing the Code of Ordinances, Parish of St. Charles, be amended by revising Section 15-5, Motor Vehicles and Traffic of said code to provide the installation of no overnight parking signs on Wenig Drive in Luling. Ms. Skiba.
Thank you, Councilman. I've had multiple residents call and complain about this issue on the street, and I went and drove by. The vehicles in this street in particular truly are becoming an obstruction, which then becomes a safety issue. We did survey the residents with the vast majority replying in favor of this ordinance. So I am in favor of this ordinance, and I would ask my fellow council members to support.
Okay. If there's anyone open to a public hearing now, 2026-0018. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Any council discussion? Seeing none, council discussion is closed. Please cast your votes for file number 2026. Oh. Mr.
Yeah,
Bingham.
I was going to say, I live in this neighborhood and I know exactly where Ms. Skiba is talking about. And it's one resident that parks their vehicles, a lot of it, and it's a truck and, some other equipment out on the street. And it has been a problem. We've been in several discussions with them about some of the things they've done in that area. And so I am fully in favor of this as well, as the Public Works Director.
Thank you, Mr. Bingham. Excuse me for not recognizing you. Okay. Any other council discussion? None. Please cast your votes for 2026-0018. All right. That passes unanimously with everybody in the room. 2026-0022, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a temporary and permanent right-of-way easement and servitude agreement by the parish president for the granting of the same to International Matex Tank Terminals LLC, adjacent to and under Abadie Lane, St. Rose, Louisiana, as described in the attached agreements with Exhibits A and B. Ms. Skiba?
Thank you, Chairman. I would like to make a motion to amend this ordinance prior to voting. In the ordinance, I propose that we strike through the wording of the transportation and/or storage of oil, vacuum gas oil, renewable diesel, natural gas, water, effluent, other liquids, and any other hydrocarbons, gases, liquid petroleum products, fatty oil products, byproducts, or any other substance. And that wording would be replaced with a 10-inch pipeline to transport food-grade vegetable oil from Bunge Chevron to their storage. We would also strike through after that, can be transported by pipeline to their, prior to the word facility. Also in the contract,
We would strike through pipeline, the diameter of which shall not exceed 12 inches nominal diameter for the transportation and or storage of oil, vacuum, gas, oil, renewable diesel, natural gas, water, effluent, other liquids, and any other hydrocarbons, gases, liquids, petroleum, as such term is defined in LARS 45251. Products, fatty oils, products, byproducts, or any other substance that can be transported by pipeline, together with above and below ground. I can't even read that.
Appurtenances.
It's all struck through. Facilities and equipment as may be deemed necessary, useful, or desirable by grantee, including, without limitation, fittings, corrosion, equipment, markers, test stations, cathodic protection, utility lines of every nature and type, all for the distribution, transportation, and delivery of such utilities to and from grantees' facilities and for such other purposes as determined by grantee and grantee's sole discretion. And that section would be replaced with the wording 10-inch pipeline to transport food-grade vegetable oil from Bungie Chevron to a storage location at grantee's facility in St. Charles Parish, Louisiana.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor by Ms. Skiba, and it's seconded by Ms. Fonseca to amend file number 2026-0022. Rather than read that all over again, we'll accept what you have just read, and if that's okay. Mr. Oob, do you have anything to say about this?
No, as reflected by the original ordinance, this is for a temporary and permanent right-of-way and easement on Aberdeen Lane. It's for a pipeline to traverse under Aberdeen Lane. What Councilwoman Skiba has indicated has been a clarification of exactly what product is going to be flowing through that line. It's a narrowing, it's a specific clarification, so the administration supports that motion to modify it. In addition, there are representatives from IMTT who are here to speak specifically. If there are any questions about that at this time, but once the motion is decided upon, at that point, they can speak to the actual product.
Well, having the amendment on the floor here, file number 2026-0022 is now open to public hearing as on the amendment. If anyone here would like to speak, come up and speak regarding the amendment, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak. This is for the amended document. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Any council discussion? Mr. Carmodell? Okay, you withdrew. Ms. O'Daniels?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That was a lot of words. So basically, what ended up happening is that in the original contract, there was a very broad language to go ahead and provide for the servitude for these veggie oils. Ultimately, it was decided that putting in the contract exactly what was requested by IMTT lines up with various other servitudes, so narrowing the contract to specify exactly what product was going in for the servitude appears to be, to me, I support the amendment because it actually lets everybody know what is going into the servitude, and that consideration that was given for the consideration is given for is kind of implied. So the language that was in there was very broad. It included everything, typical legal language, and I'm glad that everyone has come to an agreement that narrowing it down to exactly what Bungie and IMTT intended will make it clearer for the residents as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Daniels. No other council discussion? Please cast your votes to amend file number 2026-0022. And that passes unanimously. Okay, file number 2026-0022 as amended is now open for public hearing. If there's anybody who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Any council discussions? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2026-0022 as amended. And that passes unanimously. Resolutions. A resolution supporting the application for funding of the water meter replacement project Phase 7 through the Louisiana Office of Community Development's fiscal year 2025 to 2026 Community Water Enrichment Fund. Mr. Chasson?
Yes. So this year's allocation from the Community Water Enrichment Fund is $156,000, and we are going to continue our efforts with the water meter register replacements throughout the parish. And we are working on that application. It requires a resolution with the board's support. So if you have any questions about the application, please let me know.
Thank you, Ms. Chasson. File number 2026-0020 is now open for public comment. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public comment is closed. Any council discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2026-0020. And that passes unanimously. Item 2026-0027, a resolution endorsing a waiver from Appendix C subdivision regulations of 1981, Section 3, geometric standards, Section B blocks, Item 3, arrangement as requested by Laurie DeLawn. And Mr. Albert, could you please elaborate?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This request is for a two-lot minor subdivision requiring a waiver for the creation of a lot without frontage. The lots otherwise meet the minimum standards. The department recommended denial. However, the Planning Commission approved the request contingent upon this waiver request. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Albert. File number 2026-0027 is now open for public comment. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes to speak.
Hi, I'm Laurie DeLawn. I live at 113 Verdon Lane in Parody, Louisiana. And this is the property I'm trying to purchase. And I just hope that y'all pass this for me tonight, because I have a lot of money invested in it. So, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. DeLawn. Anyone else here to speak in favor or against? If not, public comment is closed. Any council discussions? Mr. Carmadell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, this is in my district. For you guys that's not familiar with this area, this subdivision was kind of created back in the day when this land was all owned by Texaco Oil and Gas. So the streets and the lots are not very proportionate. This lot is probably twice the size of most subdivision lots, and it's just a very funny layout. So I'm going to support this, and I hope you guys support this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Carmadell. Any other council discussion? If not, please cast your votes for file number 2026-0027. And that passes unanimously. 2026, file number 2026-0034, a resolution to approve and authorize the execution of an intergovernmental agreement between the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority and St. Charles Parish regarding the construction of the Desalman Boat Launch Project BA-0237 project. And that's Ms. Chasson again. Busy lady tonight. Huh?
Yes, as everyone knows, we have some funding coming from the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority for the Desalman's boat launch. That funding agreement expired July 31st of last year. We had been in discussion with them about an extension on that agreement, but they were working on some new language for their intergovernmental agreements, and they wanted us to sign a new agreement. So spoke with legal. He said we have to get a new resolution as well. So just need your approval on this one. Thank you.
Okay, if there's anyone, public comment is open for 2026-0034. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public comment is closed. Any council discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2026-0034. And that passes unanimously. File number 2026-0035, a resolution supporting the application for funding of the Turtle Pond Pump Station Upgrades Project through the Louisiana Office of Community Development's fiscal year 2025 to 2026 Local Government Assistance Program. Ms. Chasson again.
Yes. So this year's allocation from the local government assistance program is $60,000. So we are going to go ahead and apply for that money to be part of the local share, or go towards the $3 million local share, aside from the Louisiana Watershed Initiative funds on the Turtle Pond Pump Station project. So this application requires a board resolution in support of us submitting that for that project. So if you have any questions, let me know.
Thank you, Ms. Chasson. File number 2026-0035 is now open for public comment. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public comment is closed. Any council discussion? Ms. O'Daniels.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Carla, thank you for pointing out that this money is going to go towards our local share for a huge project, Turtle Pond Pump Station. Waiting a long time for this, so I guess we're kind of saving our pennies in the piggy bank to get it to go, and this is just some additional money going forward. So thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. O'Daniels. Any other council discussions? None. Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2026-0035. And that passes unanimously. File number 2026-0036. A resolution to approve and authorize the execution of an intergovernmental agreement between the state of Louisiana through the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority Board and St. Charles Parish government regarding the construction of the Upper Barataria Risk Reduction Sunset Pump Station Upgrade, Project BA-0285, project in Desalman. And again, Ms. Chasson.
Yes. So last year, CPRA released their 2026 annual plan, and in that plan, they budgeted $5.5 million to go towards the Sunset Pump Station Upgrade Project. That's part of the Upper Barataria Risk Reduction overall flood protection alignment. So they have provided us their funding agreement, their new version, and we need to have a board resolution in support of that.
Thank you, Ms. Chasson. Public comment is now open for 2026-0036. Is there anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item? Please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public comment is closed. Any council discussions? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2026-0036. And that passes unanimously. Appointments. 2025-0329, a resolution appointing a member of the St. Charles Parish Board of Adjustment as the District 2 representative. Council will confirm the nomination to the St. Charles Parish Board of Adjustment from the District 2 Council member to fill the vacancy created by the expiration of the term of Ms. Vicki Carter, 4-year term to begin December 7th, 2025 and expire December 7th, 2029. The nominee is Mr. Victor L. Bucola. We need not have a motion. Go directly to the vote. Oh, please cast. Okay. I'll get the hang of this eventually, you know. I'm sorry. Okay, help me out here.
Just say, please cast your votes to confirm.
All right. Please cast your vote to confirm appointment of Mr. Victor L. Bucola to the St. Charles Parish Board of Adjustment as District 2 representative.
Thank you.
And that passes unanimously. Okay, file number 20260016. A resolution appointing a member of the to the River Parishes Transit Authority. Sponsors for that, Mr. Mobley, Fonseca, Miss Fonseca, Miss Wilson, Miss Skiba, Mr. Pillier, Mr. Carmadel, Miss O'Daniels, Mr. Fisher, and Miss DeBrouillet. Council Chairman will accept nominations to the River Parishes Transit Authority to fill the vacancy caused by the resignation of the term of Mr. Emile Broussard III. One member appointed by the Parish Council, chosen from a list of nominees, those being one submitted by the River Region Chamber of Commerce and one submitted by the AFL-CIO. Term to begin immediately and expire January 9th, 2028. Term is concurrent with the governing authority. This item will be deferred to Monday, February 9th, council meeting pending receipt of the required nomination. All right. Meetings, announcements, notices, etc. Meetings, Housing Authority, Tuesday, January 27th, 2026, 6 p.m., Council Chambers. Hospital Service District Number 1, Wednesday, January 28th, 2026, 2 p.m., Council Chambers. Lafourche Basin Levy District, Wednesday, February 4th, 2026, 6 p.m., Lafourche Basin Levy District Office, 21380 Highway 20 in Vacherie. Planning and Zoning Commission, Thursday, February 5th, 2026, 6 p.m., Council Chambers. Communications District, 911, Monday, February 9th, 2026, 5 p.m., 911 Center, that's at 222 Joe Louis Lane in Hanville. And then St. Charles Parish Council meeting, Monday, February 9th, 2026, 6 p.m. in the Council Chambers. Special matters to be considered by the council. St. Charles Parish Council is now sitting as the governing authority of the Sunset Drainage District. File number 2026-0037, a resolution of the St. Charles Parish Council acting as the governing authority of the Sunset Drainage District supporting the proposed intergovernmental agreement between the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority and St. Charles Parish government regarding the construction of the Upper Barataria Risk Reduction Sunset Pump Station Upgrade. Again, project BA-0285, project in Desalman. Ms. Chasson.
Yes, so since the Sunset Pump Station Upgrade project is within the former Sunset Drainage District that is now managed by the council, I think that there has to be a resolution of the council sitting as the governing authority for the Sunset Drainage District to support the funding agreement that we had earlier. Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Chasson.
Sorry. Thank you.
File number 2026-0037 is now open for public comment. If there's anyone who would like to come up and speak regarding this item, please do so now. Please state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak. Seeing none, public comment is closed. Any council discussion? Seeing none, please cast your votes for file number 2026-0037. And that passes unanimously. Adjournment. A motion and a second is needed to adjourn. A motion by Ms. Fonseca and seconded by Ms. Skiba. Please cast your votes to adjourn. And that passes unanimously. Have a great evening. We're officially adjourned. Carla was busy tonight.
Let me go back and look at the numbers again.
I don't know that she counted the cuts. I was at 16
I didn't count none of that.
16 cents.
I'm taking credit.
Yeah, you can. I should have said it too for this resolution.
You know what? We give it to grants office
I
because
don't know
they
why
have
they
to
didn't
pay
put
for
the
it.
presentation.
After I said it, I sat down and said, man, it makes it sound like it
right.
disappeared. The way I said it.
You should have put your
No,
presentation.
no, it's all
It kind of was.
I just enabled myself.
I know.
I was in town.
It was listen,
I
absolutely
appreciate it. It said 25.2 million.
I promise I'm gonna get a letter, make sure everybody gets
It's coming.
all the information, because a lot of it was happening to our
I'll go into it.
and Blanchard Land Service, and that's when I started getting calls like halfway through it. I was like, oh, let me make sure everyone understands, and then after I was like, it was like that boilerplate, right? And it just covers everything. And I was like, Corey has been known to extremely well, he's been known to mess up a notary.